Hello, and welcome to your meditation for today. My name is Claire Hodgins, and I'm delighted to be with you on your 31-day meditation journey. So let's get started. So taking a moment now to settle, to find a comfortable posture, and checking in and seeing perhaps if the body would like to sit in meditation today, or perhaps we'd like to lie down in meditation. You get to choose. Noticing perhaps if we may need the support of an extra cushion or a blanket if we're feeling a chill. Taking the time to set up, taking the time to settle. And as we settle, thinking and considering our intention for our meditation today. Practicing kindness to the whole of our experience. Cultivating a sense of curiosity to whatever is with us in this moment. Checking in and tuning in and seeing more deeply and understanding our experience just as it is. Practicing acceptance, practicing kindness without judgment to whatever is with us in this moment. Developing a spacious quality of our mind as we allow our minds to explore our experiences, to observe our experiences just as they are. There's no need to go seeking anything or strive for anything. Recognizing those experiences as pleasant or unpleasant or neutral. Allowing things to be just as they are. All the while with an attitude of curiosity, of openness, of kind-heartedness to ourselves and to all that is with us in this moment. Our meditation today will bring us on a journey of exploring sounds in our environment. Tuning in and checking in with our relationships to sounds around us and within us. Let's begin. Settling, keeping the eyes open if we choose at a soft gaze, or closing them to allow us to journey within. Connecting to our breath. Following the journey of our inhale and our exhale. Settling into the present moment in the anchor of our breathing. Settling into the present moment in the anchor of the body. The feet rooted, connected to the earth. The sitting bones and the chair. Or perhaps if we're lying down, feeling the weight of the body lying. Giving ourselves permission to be here now with all that is with us in this moment. Gathering our awareness now, bringing our awareness and our sense of curiosity to our breath. Our breath is our constant companion. Whether we're paying attention to it or not, we are breathing. And as we bring our awareness and our attention to our breath, knowing that there's no need to change it, there's no need to strive to make the breath anything other than it is in this moment. Becoming really curious about our breathing now. Following the journey of our inhale and the journey of our exhale. Perhaps if we find our minds very busy and wandering and taking their time to settle, bringing our attention to the breath keenly by perhaps even counting the breath. Allowing us to focus our attention a little more keenly on our breathing. Following the journey of the inhale and the exhale. Noticing where we can feel the breath in our body, however strong, however subtle. We may notice a coolness of the breath as it enters the body. We may notice the warmth as it leaves in the exhale. We may notice the physical sensations that arise as we breathe. The rise and fall of the chest. Perhaps the expansion and contraction of the ribs. We may feel the breath a little more deeply in the belly. Noticing as we breathe a sense of holding our tension in the body. If we need that tension, can we keep it? If we don't need that tension, can we direct the breath to allow us to ease and perhaps let it go? Allowing this breath to anchor us in the present moment. Following its ebb and flow. Holding ourselves in gentle, kindly awareness. Knowing that during our meditation, if at any moment things become overwhelming, we can come back to our breath, back to this safe space, back to the anchor of our physical body sitting here or lying here in this space, until we feel ready to explore again. Noticing changes perhaps in the breath as we bring our attention to it. We may notice our breath has softened a little or perhaps deepened, or maybe not. Again, there's no need to breathe in any particular way. Allowing the breath to be just as it is. Noticing change, however subtle. And now bringing our attention from the breath into the body. Noticing our feet rooted and anchored to the earth. Noticing the connection of the body to the chair or the mat. Noticing perhaps the spaces around the body where they're not connected to the chair or the mat. Noticing areas of comfort or discomfort. Scanning through this very alive body with a sense of curiosity, of kindness, of acceptance without judgment. Practicing an open-heartedness to all that is with us in this moment. Practicing acceptance to our wandering minds if that's what's with us in this moment. Noticing those distracting thoughts, emotions. Gently but firmly turning towards the body, turning towards the breath. Allowing that experience to move into the back of our mind. Bringing us once more into the present moment with the breath and the body anchored here breathing. Knowing that it's okay that minds wander. It's okay that we are distracted. Gathering our awareness to the body and the breath. Practicing acceptance to all that is with us in this moment. And now bringing our awareness to sounds in our environment. Expanding our awareness to move into the room around us. Expanding perhaps our awareness beyond this space. Becoming aware of sounds around us. Outside of ourselves. Within the building we find ourselves in, or perhaps even beyond. Welcoming in and inviting in sound as it comes into our awareness, but there's no need to seek out sound or strive to find it. Simply noticing what is there to be noticed as we tune our attention and our senses into exploring sounds around us. We may notice many sounds are in our environment coming into our awareness, or perhaps just a few. Expanding our awareness out and out and out, reaching into the environment around us. Perhaps labeling those sounds as they come into our awareness without getting caught up in story. Perhaps observing thoughts that accompany these sounds as they come into our awareness. Observing those associations we have with certain sounds. Observing the feeling of familiar sound and perhaps unfamiliar sound. Observing how sounds perhaps have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Observing the variety of sounds that come into our awareness as we tune in and check in. And if we notice distractions and our mind wandering, come back to the breath. Come back to the anchor until we're ready to explore sound again. Expanding as far as our awareness will allow, as best we can. Exploring those sounds as they come into our awareness and go again. Exploring the strength of those sounds or the subtlety of those soft sounds. Seeing the familiar with a beginner's mind with curiosity. And now bringing our awareness a little closer into the room that we find ourselves in this moment. Contracting that awareness a little bit closer to ourselves into this space. What sounds are here for me to be noticed? Perhaps noticing the sounds of silence. Perhaps noticing that as we are hearing, there is never any vacuum of sound. Some sounds are very subtle, but they are there. Perhaps noticing sound in the room that we are in, that we've never noticed before, that we've never been conscious of before. Exploring with curiosity, with that beginner's mind. accepting those sounds as they come into our awareness, accepting them without judgment, observing those thought patterns that are with us as these sounds come into our awareness. We may notice our mind struggling or wandering. We may notice body sensations distracting, and that's okay. This is our experience in this moment. When we notice, when we observe these experiences, acknowledging them, and then gently but firmly coming back to the breath, back to our anchor, pausing a moment, gathering onto ourselves, reminding ourselves that it's okay that we have wandering active minds, reminding ourselves that it's okay if we have physical sensations that are niggling or distracting, reminding ourselves that it's okay if we have emotions that are taking us away. As best we can, coming back and tuning into the breath until we are ready to explore sounds in this room around us once more. And now bringing that awareness a little closer still within, turning inward into ourselves and exploring sounds that are there to be noticed within. Perhaps noticing the sound of our breathing, however strong, however soft, however subtle. Perhaps noticing the change in sound of our inhale and the change in the sound of our exhale. We may notice perhaps even the sound of our heartbeat in our body. We may notice other sounds within the physical body. Becoming curious about these sounds, welcoming in all that is there to be noticed in our experiences as we explore the sounds within. Perhaps noticing the sounds of our thoughts and our mind. Noticing the sounds of those thought patterns. Observing our experiences rather than get caught up in story. Perhaps noticing the sound of the spaces between our thoughts. Or perhaps noticing thoughts and thoughts and thoughts are swirling and swimming around in our minds, weaving around emotion. Tuning in and turning towards our experiences and all that is there to be noticed in our awareness. And now letting go of that particular focus on sound and expanding our awareness to all that is with us in this moment. Expanding our awareness to the body and body sensations as they arise. Expanding our awareness to our thoughts, to our emotional weather patterns, to all that is with us in this moment. Resting in kindly, gentle awareness. Giving ourselves permission to be and breathe. We may notice our wandering mind. We may notice distractions within the body. Noticing that, observing that experience, and then coming back to the breath, back to our anchor, our constant companion. Resting here as best we can in our awareness of the whole of our experience, all that it has to offer. The Paradox of Noise by Gunilla Norris. It is a paradox that we encounter so much internal noise when we first try to sit in silence. It is a paradox that experiencing pain releases pain. It is a paradox that keeping still can lead us so fully into life and being. Our minds do not like paradoxes. We want things to be clear so we can maintain our illusions of safety. Certainty breeds tremendous smugness. We each possess a deeper level of being, however, which loves paradox. It knows that summer is already growing like a seed in the depths of winter. It knows that the moment we are born, we begin to die. It knows that all of life shimmers in shades of becoming, that shadow and light are always together, the visible mingled with the invisible. When we sit in stillness, we are profoundly active. keeping silent, we hear the roar of existence. Through our willingness to be the one we are, we become one with everything. And now gathering our awareness once more into this space, into the chair, to this room we find ourselves meditating in today. Taking a moment of gratitude to ourselves for showing up, for practicing, for continuing on this meditation journey over the coming days and weeks. Practicing compassion for ourselves, practicing a sense of gratitude for ourselves for being here today. As we draw our meditation to a close,